Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. Antonio. We are the Calrissian Kids because Lando raised us back again to talk about quite arguably the best, maybe like 10 hours of Star Wars ever. And that is Andor season one and two, and how it so beautifully magnifies Rogue One, a movie that we heralded when it came out and is
Mhm.
definitely in our top three Star Wars movies. And I don't, maybe the best of the Disney Star Wars movies.
Mhm.
It's definitely it's fighting. It's up there.
Mhm. Mhm.
Shout out to Gareth Edwards for starting it. I'm not sure what happened with him, but Tony Gilroy finished it, and he
Mhm.
definitely laid out how to do TV for Star Wars in a way that is meaningful, masterful, and sneakily malevolent in a way that we were not really ready for. Because
Mhm.
Anno Seasons 1 and 2 is really about, hey, we know y'all know the Empire is some trash. But we
Mhm.
really want to let you know just how garbage they are on a
Mhm.
regular, everyday, middle management, scum of the scum, bottom of the barrel, regular bastards in the universe. We want to tell y'all just how the evil trickles down like Reaganomics in the 80s. Like, we really are trying to let y'all know just how terrible this organization is known as the Empire. And Tony Gilroy really did that. And if you have not seen either three of these things, you are doing yourself a disservice. And it also kind of cements the socio-political aspects of Star Wars that's always been there since day one. And me and Tony, before we got on, we're talking about America and just how ridiculous this Trump administration has been over the not even the first 6 months. Hasn't been 6 months as of this recording, and just how wild the swings have been. And this is the parallel. Okay, going back to the first Star Wars. I'm just gonna talk for a second. Going back to the first Star Wars, that was a uh, that was a referendum against America and Vietnam. In case you guys didn't know, the Empire was us. The rebels were the Viet Cong. If we can't see
Viet
that,
Cong ever call me
you
nigga.
know what I'm saying? Ain't never called me no N-word, you know what I'm saying? So like,
Nigga. Mhm.
if we can't see that and you can't see that parallel in Andor, then especially today, where we stand, it's May 29th, 2025, as we sit here at our desk via Zoom talking about this, like that is the parallel. US, we the empire. You know what I'm saying? You got people inside the empire who ain't really down with the empire. But as a but you know what I'm saying? But as an organization and a record label, oh, we the empire. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, and it's sad, man, because I like you know how I feel like Tony. I feel like
What's up?
you know those Israelis mean Israel and they not Zionists, but they just regular like regular Jewish people. Like, hey man,
Yeah.
we not really trying to kill Palestinians, yo. Like we not really down. Now I understand how they
Yeah.
feel. Like we not really down with all that, man. Like we here, I'm
Yeah.
American, but I ain't American. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah.
And then some of the Americans are finally realizing, hey, hey, maybe they're like, yo, I think we effed up. But hey.
Yeah, because some of those are okay. So some of those Americans end up being like Cyril Karn. Because at the end he was like, oh
Mm.
man, I really didn't sign
I'm
up for
saying it.
this. And it was too
Yeah.
late. And then he
Hmm.
saw the straw man in real life, which happens to be Andor, And he's still getting killed in the process because Andor was like, who the hell are you?
Who are you?
Who's these?
Who are these niggas? That's what. Who's this nigga? No, cause Cyril, like, him and his boo thing Dedra had an extremely unhealthy obsession when it came to Andor. And the crazy part is the Empire didn't even care about Andor like that. But it was just these two who were, power hungry, and they, and they had been brainwashed to the point where they think the Empire's grass is greener, or as they say, their ice is colder, and everything it is what it is. And look at what happened to those two at the end of this series.
Yeah, because it was trying to
One is
find,
dead,
yeah, definitely.
and the other is locked up forever.
Yeah, that's crazy because they were trying to find Axis the whole time. Again, parallels in real life. Who's the Axis of evil? You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like so when they found Axis, it didn't matter. Like imagine your whole career being for naught. And just seeing how all those machinations led to nothing. I think okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So you got Andor and Bix, right? And on the other side, you
Hmm.
got Cyril and you have Dedra. And
Hmm.
those four characters run parallel with each other for their
Hmm.
opposite causes. And
Hmm.
you see how they end up. Bix ends up carrying on Cassian's lineage, literally,
Hmm. Hmm.
and evil ends up dying. Whether, what I'm saying, literally or metaphorically. Because
Hmm.
Dedra is just gonna be, what I'm saying, on Narnia 5. The Narkina, my bad. I said Narnia, the
No,
Chronicles. What?
the Chronicles.
Narnia.
It's like where Aslan at up
Hey,
there?
it's funny because that was who's the episode of Saturday Night Live
Oh yeah, it's the
with
Narnia. What the Narnia
yeah, what's Padme, the
Uh,
actress.
uh, um, Natalie Portman.
Yeah. He was in that skit.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, guys, you're old.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got those two parallel things, and she's gonna be on Narkina making whatever, and eventually she's gonna be making parts for the second Death Star, and she's gonna die there. So,
Mhm.
like the moral of Star Wars is very simple: is that we should be on the right side of history. Like that's what Star Wars is all about. Are you on the right side of history? And they weren't, and they picked that
I just want to say real quick. Um, Message, take cue, real world, real world situations.
I'm just
Be
saying,
on the right,
man.
be on the right side of history. And if anybody is offended by what me and my man Rashad is saying, we don't care.
Because you two can be you can be Snoop, you can be Nelly, you can be
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Odom, you can be Boys to Men, you can be a lot of these people. You can be Carrie Underwood. Like you can be popular right now. You can be down what's going on right now. But like
Mm-hmm.
everything, when the pendulum swings
Come
the
swing
other
it.
way, it's gonna be hard for you to come tap dancing back. You know what I'm saying? I just want to bring up somebody that the first time around that
Oh,
was
I know where you go. I know where you going.
denigrated to the
I
point of no return, and that is Chrisette Michelle. Like
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that was
we
coming.
ain't forget, man. Like
Uh,
they don't care
uh-huh.
how great she sung on that song or the song she did with Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care about none of that. They say, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
You suck. But now that the grift is so strong, like that, like okay, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all are really trying to make cryptocurrency a thing. And if y'all can't see the grift in cryptocurrency, then I'm not really sure what we talking about. Like and that's the propagandizing of everything. Hence going back to
Republic credits.
yeah, going back to Star Wars when you have the propagandizing of Gorman. Like they
Hmm.
literally sat down at the table and said, "Hey man, how are we gonna mess these people up?" They was like, just oh, the Gorman, aren't they so sedity and bourgeoisie?
Hmm.
Aren't they stuck up? Look at them with their fine clothes on. Don't you dislike them a lot, don't you? And they fed them lies over 5 years. So by the time the Gorman massacre happens, people are like, some bastards died on Gorman. It's all good.
Hmm.
Because they normalize the cruelty. And again, just like right now, when you normalize cruelty, hence, getting rid of people, sending them to Venezuela and these death camps, you know what I'm saying? People been natural born citizens, and you say, hey, you look Hispanic to me. We're gonna round you up. Letting people have giving people millions of dollars because they are being racist regular people. You know what I'm saying? Like the lady who called
Hmm.
the kid an N-word, or like, Kyle
Oh yeah.
Rittenhouse and all of them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
again, when we normalize cruelty, it becomes
Hmm.
just second nature. So that's what,
Or bringing in people who have been oppressed in a certain country as refugees
oh
here, saying
yes,
that
yes.
they're
When you
being
bring,
killed
yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah. When you bring the descendants of the Dutch, you know what I'm saying, who essentially
In South Africa.
became the ruling class
Hmm.
through colonization. And they say, hey, y'all been oppressed. We've been killing white South African farmers. And the people that they brought over ain't farmers. You know what I'm saying? Like some lady sold her house for whatever their currency is and got a free flight to America. So that's yeah, again, cruelty being normalized. And that's what the Empire did the entire time. All right. Let's talk about
Hmm.
how well these two work as companion pieces. Okay. So you
You said
have
Andor and Rogue One.
Andor and then you
Hmm.
have Rogue One because we both rewatched
Oh,
Rogue One. And
yes.
Rogue One gets elevated so much by just knowing the piece, some of the players just a little bit more. Okay. I know like
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people say, oh my God, yo, like watching Andor made me understand who Saw Gerrera was. I was like, hold up, play. I felt like the people who were who have been like really like trying to give me a flogging over there on The Last of Us because I ain't played the video game. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I see you ain't watched the cartoons, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I
see
felt like
you
a bit
raised
of
your
an elitist.
daughter.
Yo, they is trying to like annihilate me because I ain't playing no damn video game. But nah, I said because they definitely fleshes out Saw that let us know like yo he's mad paranoid and he's very highly skeptical of everybody.
He's a huffer.
Yeah, General Draven. You know what I'm saying? We understand why he was like yo get rid of that bastard as soon as on site, yo. I don't care if his
Hmm.
daughter's right there. We're not bringing him in. We're not gonna bring him. Okay. One thing I noticed, right? So that whole scene, and you have my mom was like, "Oh yeah, go get him, and we're gonna bring him before Senate."
Hmm.
Ma'am, didn't you just have to get rescued from the Senate on Coruscant?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm gonna say a line. I am the Senate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean the Senate? Ain't no Senate, sis. You hiding
You
on
know,
Yavin 4. Like, what are you talking
I
about?
am. You're gonna bring him before Palpatine. Palpatine's like, yeah.
I was even trying to force choke him on the low.
Right. He was sitting there like, it's like, Galen Erso, what do you have to say? Cat's got your tongue. Huh? 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 He's it's not to
Stardust.
have anything to say. Right. You
Come
know,
on, man.
and piggybacking off of what you're saying, man, it's like you said, Andor makes Rogue One so much better because of because of the players behind the scene.
Yeah.
The players behind the scene that you know like when you see when you see Rogue One the first time you watched it before Andor was even a thing, the show, you was just like, yo, this is a good movie, this is some good storytelling. Oh
Yeah.
snap, now we see where everything kind of ties together. Watching Andor makes everything tie together even more
Yes.
because you're just sitting there and then you just see how everything is lined up. Back to what we were saying off the top, how you see how trashed the Republic is, that and the Empire, excuse me, the Empire is. You see, and then too, it makes sense on as well as how trash the Empire is to each other. You know, like think
Yeah.
about it. When you first see Rogue One, what do you see? You see Krennic coming to get Erso, like, hey man, let's go. We got some things to do right here. Or what, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And you see he basically wipes them, kills his wife, and then he gets old, he hides his daughter off and everything like that. And then you see years later, what you still see how trash the Empire is when when Tarkin is treating what's his critic like some trash as well too. It's
Yes.
like, man, yeah, he when they first fired it off, and he was like, when they fired off the Death Star, and they saw what happened when he hit Jeddah, he was like, okay, okay.
Hmm.
All right,
Hmm.
now he's like, this is cool. I like this. Good job, Krennic. All right, this is now under my control now, or whatever. But this is my thing. My man was like, hey, yo, whoa. I done put years into this. Like, whoa, this is the science division. This is. He was like, oh, you got a problem? You can take it up to the powers.
He
You
said,
know what I'm saying? That be.
he said, "Hey, you're a little you got a little leak about a pilot
Uh huh.
somewhere that got away talking about
Yeah.
some Death Star plans. How about you figure that out first, and then
Yeah.
come back and
And
talk to
then
me."
what? And then what does Critic do after that? He scored. He's like, I'm gonna go talk to. I'm gonna go talk to Lord Vader. He goes to Lord Vader. And he gets a little sassy with Vader, and we all know you do not get sassy with Vader, especially during that time, because that's Prime Vader. And what did he do? He choked him like a little hoe right there on the day at his little fire mansion. Like, come on, man. Like, the Empire is horrible, yo. And
Fire
you see,
man
and like
shit.
it's your his fire mansion, sitting
Hey,
there
hey, hey,
on
Tony.
Mustafar, yo.
Tony, I know Vader was pissed because he was in the back of the tank, just minding
I
his
know,
business. Because it hurts to put that
it,
suit on and
yeah.
off.
So real quick, for people that don't really know the lore of Star Wars, that suit that Vader wears is trash. It is outdated technology. It is outdated technology. Palpatine keeps him like that, like he's permanently itching. So that's why he has to get the back to take. He's always in pain, and that kind of keeps the hate going or whatever. He probably was in that back to tank like, oh God, I needed this. This is great. This is Lord Vader.
Lord Vader, Director
Lord
Krennic
Vader.
is here.
He said, he probably was like, this mother effer is interrupting my back to jacuzzi. Oh, I be damned. This better be something important. And he coming to talk about he mad because of this and
Can I
that.
get can I get my credit?
Can I get my credit? I want my credit. Can I get my credit, mama? Where my credit? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, it's like I said, it lines everything up to, what I'm saying, even to getting in the beginning when Andor goes to God, what's the name of the planet, Rashad, where he goes to get the information because they get the leak
Kafrine?
that a,
Is it
a
Kafrine?
pilot, yeah, Freem, yeah, Freem.
Kafrine?
He
Yeah.
goes and the guy he's like, hey man, talk to a pilot. They got a killer. They got a killer base, man. This, what I'm saying, this and that. And then too, it makes sense as well because when you first see um Rogue One of the first go round, you see Andor get this information from this guy, from this spy, and then he pops him, and you like, wait a minute,
Yeah, because he's
ain't
like,
he supposed to be a good guy? Or what? You
because
like, ain't Andor supposed to be a good guy, or whatever, like that? But you know where Andor got that from? He got he got that from old lace front Luthen, baby.
yeah, lace
You
front
know what I'm
taught, like,
saying?
who lace front taught him well, because the funny part
Yeah.
was he was like, it's a planet killer. Galen Ursa. He's like, Ursa. So like, so
Mm-hmm.
because you already know Draven already gave him, they already got the information
Mm-hmm.
from Claire, so he knew what to
Mm-hmm.
pick up on. But the worst he had to get that confirmation. And
Mm-hmm.
when he went back, I was like, look, yo, I think this is for real. They're like, what? I know they was like, what happened to the dude? Well, I don't
Things
know.
happen,
Yeah, it was
got
it was
crazy out
him. It
there.
was it's either him or me being blasted by like 30 stormtroopers around the corner. So yeah, I
Right.
had to make
So
a decision.
oh man, yeah. So like you said, Rashad, watching Andor makes this movie so much better because like I said, you get to see why Andor is the you know what I'm saying, why he is the way he is or whatever. And God Almighty, and then just seeing how the ragtime group of folk are being put together because that's all the Republic, that's all the rebellion is. It is a ragtime group of folks that have some backing you know what I'm saying, of it. And once again, as we talked about the finale of the series, I want to give a shout out to old Luthen because Luthen is the godfather of the rebellion, and he never really got his credit because of how he went about doing things and how certain people on the board for the Republic were like, yeah, I mean, he gets
Oh,
stuff
yeah, I don't
done, but
know
man,
about that dude.
I don't know about this dude or whatever. So yeah, man.
But I'm glad you mentioned Luthen because Luthen was like, I know I ain't gonna get no credit for this, and
Yeah.
I don't care. He was like, I am in this for the love of the game.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
I'm in the gym putting shots up. Where you at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Like
saying? Like you,
ball is life.
yeah,
That's
you
him,
ain't, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. He said, oh, we lost? Huh, ball up next.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like, man, it don't matter. Cause like, oh my God, yo, like he told Clay. Clay was like, yo, when we gonna win? He said, we lose, we lose, we lose, and we lose until we get our first win. I was like, ah, man, those are words to live by, kids, because
Yeah.
we're gonna take some L's. If you can't turn them L's into lessons, then you are losing. That's the only time you
Hmm.
lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like again, formulating Andor as the accompanying piece to Rogue One
Hmm.
gives Rogue One so much more justice. Even when it comes to even when it comes to appreciating how the Force was used in Rogue One, because
Oh.
Andor is like a Force atheist
Hmm.
until
Hmm.
he had to
Before.
go down. He had to go down to the revival. He had to
Mm.
meet the Force lady. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Uh-huh.
And he told him his future.
Hmm.
Say, look, you're gonna be important. You got a mission. You are a messenger. And
Hmm.
what was he doing the entire time in Rogue
Being a
One?
mess, being a messenger
And what did he do? He helped send the most important
for the
message.
most vital message. Yes.
So like those little small things for me is like, oh my God. And even when Tony,
Hmm.
Tony, go back and rewatching this made me like, yo, my favorite characters in this movie is Chirrut and William Bates Malbus.
Oh yeah.
I love, I
Yeah.
yo, I love their dynamic. I love their friendship. I
Hmm.
love how Chirrut is like more of
Devout
the
believer.
devout one, and then we
Mm.
have Baze, who's basically the definition of church hurt,
Yeah.
and he's still
He.
wrestling with his faith, but like, but
Hmm.
he's doing it because like, look, like this is my friend, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna protect my friend.
Yeah.
And
It's like he's a believer, but he's an unwilling belief. It's like he's a believer, but he's a believer with doubts. You know what I'm
with some
saying?
reservations,
With
like
some with some reservations. And
yeah,
it's
like
just like people there are people who are quote unquote Christians, but they are like, I believe in God and I believe in it, but there's some things that I still
like
question.
yeah, the whole
Yeah.
like white supremacy aspects of Western Christianity. Like I
Mm,
really ain't down. Like I'm not really down with that,
mm.
And then you have a lot of people go through this state of I forgot what the term is called. Anyway, like basically, they start to question exactly what and how they believe, and still believing in God, but like this ain't really how y'all have given this to me. It isn't really what it is,
Mhm.
and Baze by the end taps back into the
Into it.
Force,
Yeah.
and I think okay, so going into this for like maybe like the six, seven times I've seen Rogue One.
Mhm.
And going to Scarif, I was like, man, everybody about to die.
Yeah.
And it's still so good. I
Think,
mean,
because think about it, Rashad. When you went to see this movie the first time, and they get the scarab or whatever, and you're thinking, okay, what's going on here? Blah 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 blah. And you're watching it, and then by the end of the movie, you're like, everybody died. And then you say to yourself, it makes sense why everybody died.
definitely,
It make
definitely.
especially at the end when you see Leia and she says, "Yo," there was like, "What is this hope?" And you just like, "Oh snap! This is going into so this is why everybody died."
Yeah, because
Like
she's on the Tantive, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? The Tantive E, or however you pronounce it, like then
mm-hmm,
boom, then we got,
mm-hmm.
do you have the Death Star plans? And it's in the droid. So like
Mm-hmm.
that also
You're a rebel
Tana.
spy. Take her away
So I'm on a what she say? I'm on a
on a
on
diplomatic
a
of the
diplomatic,
of
yeah, yeah, emissary from
from the you're a rebel
from
spy
from Alderaan.
from all
Yeah.
the right. You're a rebel spy. Get a takeaway.
Yes, that's so funny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Another thing to like another good like connection between Rogue One and Andor
Mm-hmm.
is the way that they was like, F what y'all saying. We gonna meet up to help. Because
Yes.
because
Yes.
in Andor, like like General Draven was mad. He just went to daggone Coruscant to get Mom Mothma. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was mad about that, and it was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, you can't go nowhere, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and almost the whole rebel fleet
Mm-hmm.
left,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, because they left, more people came.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was we had Red Squadron, we had Blue Squadron,
Mm-hmm.
we had like random fighters. We had it was so many people
And
at Scarif.
and shout out to rest in peace, Admiral Admiral Raditz, because dude was like, he didn't even wait for no orders or nothing to come from high. He's on high command, and
Yeah,
he won't wait
it
for
was like, yo, what's Amaratus? He's gone.
gone.
Like,
Oh yeah, he's gone, and he's took it like come to calamari, you know what I'm saying, cruisers to go or whatever. Because as soon as they got that message, it was like, hey, Andor and them, they're on Scarif, and they got the plans, and they need what?
then they gotta get the
Ralph?
plans out. And it's supposed to, by that time, like everybody knew that
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of the Death Star, like the planet killer was a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that notion was real. Even the whole meeting they had with Jyn and all of that, and like the black lady that was hating, and the other
Yeah.
dude that was hating, like they were
Yeah.
still hating,
Uh-huh.
and they was like, you know what, man, it's not like a oh yeah, because here's a funny thing too,
What's that?
like they were so worried about their own people, and just like Luthen was basically trying to tell them the whole time, he said, man, it ain't about your people, it's about all of
All the
us.
people, yeah.
So if you're not willing to sacrifice, then you're not really willing to be a rebel.
Hey, sums up in two words, Rashad, from the 70s. Power. Power to the excuse me, for power to the people.
Definitely,
And that's
definitely,
all Luther was saying. Power to the
yeah.
people,
Like
man.
yo, like it's like who's it gonna be? It's gonna be it's gotta be us. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like if not us, who? If not
Who?
now, when?
When?
And Luthen, that's the spirit of Luthen definitely was being exuded through through Andor.
Mm-hmm.
And watching Rogue One, it feels more like Andor's story.
Yes.
than actual than Jyn.
Yeah.
Even though we set up Jyn as like the titular character, not title character, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, as like the star of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
coming away from this, the real story
Yeah.
is Andor's story to
Yeah.
me. You know,
Yeah.
like
I
like
feel like I feel like yes, that's very much true, but also what I feel like too is that in the movie, basically, Jyn Jin's turn to helping out the rebels is parallel to Andor's story and the 2 seasons of it. Because remember, Andor won't really trying to be bothered with this stuff and everything like that.
very true.
Just like Jyn was when we found
Yeah,
her,
yeah, yeah,
Andor
yeah,
ended up going to jail and
yeah.
stuff. But Jyn had did a few things with crazy ass Saul Guerrero. Say crazy ass Saul Guerrero. He left her with what she was like a teenager or
Like
something like
15.
15 or something like that. And then what happened? We saw Andor. He was trying to get away from some stuff, and then what happened? He
You
got
got caught
snatched up
up.
and sent to
Yeah.
prison. When we see Jyn, she's in prison. And it was a breakout and everything. And it is like with Andor meeting with people that are trying to put the Rebel Alliance together. He's kind of like, all right, cool. With Jyn, the same thing. Y'all trying to do this or whatever like that. And then by the end of Andor, what do you see? You see Andor as a leader. So he's a captain. He's rallying troops and stuff like that. And what do you see Jyn do near the right before the climax of Rogue One? She's like rallying the troops, saying, "Hey, we need to do this and everything." And it's fitting that they both died together because they were, to my opinion, they were parallel to each other. Their paths were parallel, probably led by the Force. But you're right. This I do feel like this is more of an Andor story, but it's kind of parallels this that Jen's story was rushed because it was a movie, and Andor was cooked over what a 5-6 year period.
That's really good. Like,
Thank
that
you.
is really good. And the fact that Tony probably, I mean, he probably did it on purpose because like that just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And when and even like what like Andor like him being very reluctant towards her
Mm-hmm.
early on
Mm-hmm.
and on that flight back home from what's the name of that planet that Galen was on? Edu.
You
But
do.
that was on Edu, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they leave out of there, boom, Pops is dead. And he was like, she was like, you was gonna kill my dad? He's like, man, yeah, it is what it is, bro. You're
It is what it is. Hey,
like,
I'm following orders,
yeah,
and we don't know
yeah.
if we can trust this mof. We didn't know if
And
we could trust him.
that speech he gives is like, look, yo, like you basically out here trying to do stuff on your own. You trying to say
Mm-hmm.
you're dad, but like, nah, like for me, this is what I've been told to do. I'm a good soldier, follow orders,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what it has to be. And even the mean that was to still find a common ground. And he was like, look, yo, did I kill that bastard or not? He said, I had a shot. I could have killed him, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. Because it wasn't basically because again, he still has this moral compass. Like, yo,
Compass,
it
yeah.
wasn't like it wasn't the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't kill him. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
you can calm down on that noise. Shout out to K2SO for being the number one tattleteller. Like this man was telling on everybody.
Everybody, yeah. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
the funny part to me, man, like I love a good callback. He was like, yeah, Cassian won't let me have a blaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at the end, she was like,
Yeah.
thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
So like that, like yo, like so many emotional little small beats in Rogue One, man. Like just a masterpiece of a movie, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, watching it back, it just made Rogue One so much more better. If I had time, I would have watched it again.
Yeah.
But I have a life. So
Life.
that's man. Like what else? What else? What else I'm looking at? Okay, so even how the rebels who helped out initially. Like we saw a bunch of them at the end of Andor, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have. I mean, think about it. Like if they was on Yavin, and they was like, really trying to doing the thing themselves and training and stuff, and they was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what we training for if we can't use it? We already
Right,
killers
yeah.
anyway. So let's yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna hop on the Rogue One and
Mm-hmm.
actually fight with y'all. That was dope. The fact that how they got to Scarif is classic Star Wars. Oh yeah, we on a
Mm-hmm.
stolen ship, and we got a codes to get in. Boom. How? Excuse me. The way that they use those those hammerhead corvettes
Yeah,
to ram the Star Destroyer down through the
ramming speed. Yeah.
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 Brace
Even
yourselves.
yeah, brace
That is
yourself.
it's yeah, like that all that is great. Like and it's the funny thing is too is like people saw that and was cheering, but got really mad at like the Holdor maneuver. Even though we saw somebody come out of hyperspace in that movie and was obliterating ships.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
what do you think is
That
gonna happen?
when Vader with his with the Star Destroyer, when they was like when Raditz was like, all right, we got it.
Let's get the
Let's
hell
get
out of
out of
here.
here. You see a couple of ships going out, and then one of Raditz's mates, lieutenants, was like, "Hey, there's a there's a ship coming out of hyperspace, huh?" Boom.
About 4 or 5 of them bit the dust.
Yeah, and I
And
think one of them was Raditz ship, if I'm not mistaken,
I don't
because
even remember.
because I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, Raditz died. He died at the Battle of Scarab, and if you go back and you watch Return of the Jedi, it's funny because the ship that Admiral Akbar is the admiral of is the USS Raditz. Well, not the USS, but the is the Raditz. So yeah, so certain people did get their shine off of this, man. But yeah, that is
I'm
like you
just
said,
saying, man, like
yeah,
it's there was some really good stuff. All right.
yeah.
Here's my like my hot take.
What's your hot take, Ray?
My hot take is that the best scene of the movie doesn't even make sense in this movie anymore.
What's that? You talking about the Vader scene?
Yeah. To me, like the
Okay.
Vader scene is is at first like looking at it like without Andor feels like the
Mm-hmm.
icing on the cake,
Yes, the cherry
but
on top.
but
Yeah.
but now it just feels like superfluous. It's like hella extra. Like I ain't even need this, you know.
Right.
But I understand why they did it, but like in like watching Andor and watching this, I was like, yo, the ship's blowing up and all that. I could have lived with that, and even them just giving the plans like to lay and all that, that's cool, not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But Vader coming through and just being a murder hallway scene, I was like, oh man, like I love it, but like it's not even necessary.
It's not, but it's still so good.
I know that's why I'm conflicted.
Don't be conflicted. Enjoy it for what it is, Rashad. I understand, but enjoy it for what it was. Because I remember going to see this movie with my mother, and we were at this spot back home in the 757, the Commodore Theater,
Yeah,
and we was in there watching it, and I was already enjoying myself. Like even back then, I might have felt like that really won't necessary, but God, it was so because the movie was already so good, and you just hear people in the theater like, "Oh man, oh." But when we get to that part and you hear the I
Vroom.
stopped. I said, oh no, oh no. I said, I know that ain't who I think it is. Oh, I know that ain't who I think it is. And that lightsaber lit up. And I was like, oh, everybody in the theater was like, oh. But it was the simple carnage that Vader showed that, my man lifted a dude up in the air, walked by him, and just it was the pure carnage of it. And I think, and you got to think about it like this too, Rashad. When that happened, back when the movie came out, what 2016
16.
or something, right? When that scene happened, that is the Vader we've all wanted to see.
Yeah,
Vader unleashed, like just unleashed, unhinged, because you always heard about how crazy Vader was and how wild Vader was and how Vader's taking out this and that, and then like that, and then so I think that made like the stuff that came out afterwards make more sense about Vader's crazy as hell. Like, the
yeah.
fact that he was the trainers of the Inquisitors and how he was like, he hated them so much because he was like, I know Palpatine ain't getting these mofos when you got me right here. He's hacking off limbs on these folk and stuff like that. How like Palpatine is like dropping him on like death planets and stuff like that just to see if he can survive and that type of stuff like that. And but to see Vader unhinged in that in that is wonderful. But you are absolutely correct. Kind of unnecessary, but damn, it's so good.
Yeah. Also, in a sadistic way, love how Jeddah and Scarif got blown up. Like just the visuals of that, especially Jeddah. Like them having to get out of Jeddah as the planet was basically like engulfing them.
Mhm.
It just was like
Yeah,
it was
it didn't even blow up
so
the whole planet. It
good.
just blew up like a port,
He
like
said,
like
blow up just he said Jeddah. No, 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 just the city. No, I'm
just the
sorry,
city,
just the Holy Land.
the
I'm
Holy
like,
Land.
I'm like, yo, like
I
Tarkin
think
was
I think the visual that I always love from that movie is the scene, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Scarif and the Death Star shows, and you're like on the surface of Scarif, and you see the Death Star just looming right there, just looming there. Because if I'm not mistaken, remember Krennic even saw it before he died. It was like,
he was like, oh,
oh, I know this mother. He says, no, he's not about to kill me with my own daggone weapon. And it's speaking of scenes and stuff, the beach scene is beautiful. It was, them hopping from different peninsulas on the beach to take out the transportation ports and all of that. And Rogue One is so good. Andor is so good that it made Rogue One, that a movie that was already good, even better.
we up.
We up. I have nothing more to say.
Me neither,
Anybody have?
man.
If, like I said, me and Rashad have made it perfectly clear. Uh, Rogue One is definitely in our top three Star Wars. I think we probably both have the same top three movies, but I don't even want to put them in an order. They're like A1, A2. you know, so I think we have the same
It's
three movies that's
I
in our
don't
top three, but
maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
like what's we'll revisit it. Ve- We'll revisit this
Oh,
during some downtime. Good God, I'm struggling.
yeah, yeah,
I'm about to stroke out or something over here. Nah, but for real, um, this, yeah, man, this movie, man, is special. This series was a very special series.
hmm
Shout out to all the creatives on this, all the writers on seasons 1 and 2
hmm
of Rogue One. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Star Wars for
Stop
letting them
Star
do
Wars,
this.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Shout
this
out to
fly
Disney.
flying around my face
I know you've
as
been
I'm
looking.
talking.
I
It's
said you've been looking
pissing
the
me
whole.
off. I thought I killed it. You know what I'm
You need to
saying?
get your Mr. Miyagi on.
Yeah, 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 yeah. With the chopsticks. We're in a video game. Anyway,
It was in the video game too. I just saw it fly too. I saw it on the
I
poster for
hated
the
that, yo. I could not never get the chopsticks right. Couldn't get no extra
hmm
points in the training session. Anyway, we'll see you guys on the next one. I don't even know when next time we're gonna do something. What comes out next?
Ironheart, really.
I feel like there's a movie that comes out in like early June.
While we've talked about that, anything you've watched recently or whatever, besides anything we talked about, Rashad?
No, the only thing I've been watching recently just been some anime. I've been watching
Okay.
season 2 of Windbreaker,
Okay.
the ultimate show about friendship.
I was about to say Windbreakers. No, just
Yeah.
um.
Also been watching Mobile Suit Gundam Gux.
hmm
That's been very interesting. That is in the Universal Colony timeline. So it's in the OG timeline
Okay.
for Gundam.
Hmm.
And they actually had like a flashback episode about the Red Comet. Y'all know what that is. That's Char's suit. Char got lost and the suit pops up in the show. It's a lot going on. Anyway,
I've been only other thing I've been watching is I just finished the series. They just had the series finale for this
Handmaid's
show,
Tale.
The Handmaid's Tale. Yes.
Yeah.
The finale was very interesting. I
I,
was
I
enjoying
I
it.
I I saw some people like, oh my God, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it really wasn't like yeah.
They didn't stick the landing.
They no, they didn't stick the landing. They stuck it on a penultimate episode, but it's like, they really didn't stick the landing for this. But apparently, from, I'm saying, what I've read on the interwebs, they are doing another series that's based off a book that is a sequel, kind of like a sequel to Handmaid's Tale, like 15 years later.
Oh
But
wow.
what 15 years later after what happens, but a lot of people are still, yeah, I mean, the way it ended, you was just like,
Yeah. Other
it
than
left
that,
it left you wanting more. Put it like that.
oh, okay. Like other than that, I just been, just doing the socials. Shout out to Threads. So
Yeah,
I told you about the thread the other day I did
yeah.
about just my little observations about The Last of Us. Get on Threads, y'all. That thread right now is at damn 521K views. That's almost as good as that Sinister thread I had. That's like
Yes.
604. And this
Yeah.
this thread got legs. Last time I checked, I was at like 361, and I was stuck there for like a good 12, 14 hours. So the thing I'm learning is this. Um, People are two things: reasonable or asses. Because like
Unreasonable.
ain't no in between.
No.
What I
You're reasonable
mean,
or you're unreasonable.
yo, man, I mean, I don't block at least like 20 people.
Yes.
I've really tried to explain myself the best of my ability. I even went back and pinned just some, like, all right, let me just clarify some stuff. And people don't read. All right. People do not read. Like I
And they have
literally
horrible
said,
and people have horrible reading comprehension as well,
I
too.
said, look, I understand why the people were mad when the game came out based on Ellie's characterization in season two. I know it's
Mm-hmm.
not bar for bar, but like it's essentially how the game goes. I'm saying like she's on her revenge quest.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we get to our point, they make the character sort of a not so likable character. And that's
Yeah.
what they did in the show. And instead of people being adults, they're like making memes and like, like making fun of Bella Ramsey as a
Ramsey.
person.
Yeah.
And I don't really tolerate a whole lot of that. So I just been blocking people and calling people out. And then somebody was like, you use what they said in their profile against them. Yes. Why am I gonna engage with somebody when when their account says I am a troll account? Don't take what I say serious.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I said. And it was like, you gonna do that? I'm not having good faith arguments with people that I don't
Yeah.
know online. Half these
Listen,
people
we
ain't
grown
got,
ass men, yo. We ain't got time for this stuff.
and
We
on top of
adults,
that, but
man.
like people ain't got no followers, no profile pic, no threads. You just up here
Mm-hmm.
like a creep lurking in the background, waiting for something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Always, and then somebody was like, yeah, like they was talking about just another fandom. They said, yeah, they always pop up here, but just with the same thing I was saying about how the profile looked. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, they do this to all anything popular culture and just want to talk junk and act stupid. So yeah, that's been my
For
time
those people,
online. Yes, let the hate flow through you.
I just
No.
want to mention this and wrap this up. I just want to mention this before we go, just because you said the movie. $90 million budget has made 340 million.
Not even that, Tony. Like they
Send these
don't.
people.
It's still making money.
It's still
Like it
making
made
money.
$8 million last week with all that nonsense that was out.
Yeah, I think what that was it fourth place? It was a
Fourth or
fourth place,
fifth.
fifth, fourth, or fifth place.
Either
But
way,
but
still
90 million.
making
I'm just
money.
saying, $90 million budget, 340 million box
We,
office.
we made our money back. And people say, "Oh, they got to make at least 180." Man, we
Yeah,
done profited.
we
We up
profited.
again.
We
Ryan
up again.
Coogler
Yeah,
is up. Oh, some
yeah.
haters. Anyway, I think that's all we got, man. We'll let you know when we pop back up. We'll probably do something in between now and then. I'll see what's out, and we'll post some send us socials, y'all.
Cool.
Oh yeah, theuponfurtherreview.com. Summertime is basically here, so I'm about to start cooking. $10, man. $10 for the low. $10 a month.
$10. It's inside joke.
All right, y'all.
That's it.